Son of a bitch.
Come on, man.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the KB on the Beat podcast.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. We are your hosts.
I'm Ben Wilbers.
And I am Keaton Brightwell, and this is Diet Dr. Pepper.
And you're
Please
watching X
sponsor
Games.
us. Please sponsor us, Diet Dr. Pepper. You don't have to give us money. Just give me Diet Dr. Pepper.
We would love a sponsor.
I would love a sponsor. Or Liquid Death. You could sponsor us too. I don't have any of you right now. I ran out. Anyways, today we're going to be going over upcoming video games. So I feel like to start, to get our perspective on the gaming world, we're going to go over our top 5 favorite video games each. I'll kick this off and go with number 5. I'm going to say Batman Arkham Knight. Just, sure there are drawbacks to it, but the story worked for me. Partially because I got to drive a car. But I will say it's the, I don't know, Batman's just an utter badass in it. And he's not scared to get his hands bloody in this one. Yeah. Whereas in Origins, he wasn't scared to either, but that was just because he was young and he was kind of annoying. Just because he was like constantly pushing Alfred away and he was a douchebag. Yeah. Then Asylum and City, he was like, I've got to do the right thing. And then in City, he just was like, I'm going to let all these people die so I can get laid. Asylum is just Asylum, and the boss fight sucks.
Asylum is Asylum.
Oh.
Well, I'll cut it. I'll cut that out.
Yes, we will cut that out.
That's unfortunate.
Son of a bitch! It's fine. They can... I'll dox them on Grace, I guess. It's not going to dox them. I do know we're both in the room, so what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Sonic Frontiers. I know it has a lot of things wrong with it. Like, for one, I feel like the open world, as cool as it is, it could have been executed a little bit better in the game. But the combat is also really fun. The story is the best that we've seen probably since Generations or Unleashed. And it's just a good time. It's one of the few games I've 100%ed, and I just can't get enough of running around all these weird places as Sonic in an open world. Like, Sonic is my childhood, so finally having that ability to, like, truly feel like Sonic in not quite an endless, like, space to run, but, like, a lot of places, that's fun. It's just a lot of fun.
My number 4, I'm going Call of Duty Black Ops 3. The story sucks, and the multiplayer sucks. But the zombies.
Valid. So
maybe I'm actually going to change that. Not Black Ops 3. The zombies may be the best in the series, but the story was terrible, and the multiplayer was gambling. So we're going to switch that to Black Ops 2. Because though Black Ops 2 zombies, half of it was terrible. I mean, you have maps like shit maps like Die Rise and Trans shit that are terrible, but every other map is so good. And the story is incredible. The multiplayer was fun and engaging. And yeah, everything about it just worked. Also, it was the peak COD community when you could get on the mic and yell slurs at people.
Yeah.
I did not do that because I was like 8.
I didn't. I never played COD until I was like 17.
But you were able to make custom things, and you were able to make dolphins doing things or other weird shit. Peak COD. So, what about you?
My number 4, I'm going to go with Devil May Cry 5. Probably easily one of the most iconic in this. We almost just lost all the money we could have made off this.
We're not making any money.
We're not making money, but if we ever did. But anyways, yeah. My number 5, Devil May Cry 5. Easily one of the most iconic stories in the Devil May Cry series. Aside from maybe Devil May Cry 3 and Devil May Cry 4, but Dante, I feel like, was executed really well. I like spending a lot of time with Nero as much as of an annoying little brat Nero is. He was kind of fun to play with. Same with V, as slow and sluggish as his combat was. And then Virgil, obviously, one of the best. Well, unfortunately, you can't play as Virgil's lawn chair or use that, but you can in mods. But unfortunately, while you can't do that, Virgil is still one of the most badass characters in the series. But yeah. That's my number 4.
My number 3, I'm gonna say it's Mortal Kombat X. And I'm sticking it here because The story was good. Everything. There were things that didn't work for some people. Like how Shinnok was kind of turned into a little bitch. And how Liu Kang was defeated by Jax. Which that part, I will admit, is kind of weird, but Revenants are, like, depowered. Just the new characters were all very good. I felt like they were handled very well. As having the combat kids, Cassie, Kung Jin, Takeda, and Jackie, they all worked for me. And they felt unified by the end. And then obviously having human Scorpion, human Sub-Zero was great. Or not, Sub-Zero was always human, but like unmasked, badass Kuai Liang was cool. And then the PvP was great. Playing against other people, it was fast-paced, it was aggressive, and it was violent. So yeah.
That's what we love about Mortal Kombat.
Just fun.
Yeah. My number 3, I'm going to give it to the original PS4 Spider-Man game. It's kind of the same reasons that I love Sonic Frontiers, because it's an open world, you play as Spider-Man, you get to swing around, stop crime, and do all that. And I also feel like the story was really good. Like the Sinister Six and Tombstone and the Devil's Breath and all that was executed perfectly. And plus, starting off with like a more experienced Peter Parker was something that I genuinely enjoyed about it, because like you had more things you could do as Peter as compared to previously in other Spider-Man games where he's still new to it, so he doesn't have as many. I mean, he's pretty strong, but he doesn't have as many gadgets and abilities. No. And I guess you can also throw the Miles Morales in there at number 3, because it's pretty much got everything that I love about the original Spider-Man game, but you play as Miles Morales, who has more powers. Though the story, it's just too short. That's the only complaint I have about it. And the Tinkerer, not a great first villain for Miles Morales. There are obviously so many other good picks you could pick for Miles Morales, but yeah, that's my number 3.
My number 2 is going to be Sonic Generations, and you could throw in the version with Shadow. I haven't played the version with Shadow yet. Partially because I just spent $415 on Katy Perry tickets, so I'm not buying it, but
the space lady, in case none of you know.
She went to space for 11 minutes.
She's now an astronaut.
There's a Taylor Swift music video longer than the time she was in space. Anyways, they're front row tickets though, so it's okay.
That's valid though.
The gameplay is so smooth. The stages are all really good. I don't have any complaints with any of the stages. I always kind of knew... On repeat playthroughs, obviously, the first time I played through it, I was a little confused on some of them. Particularly the one where you get the bee guy.
Oh.
The one with all the weird red mechanical stuff. I was very confused.
Oh, that one, yeah. I remember that.
That was the only level I was ever confused on.
That was the Sonic Colors world, wasn't it?
That was the Sonic Colors world.
Sonic Colors was a very strange entry into the Sonic series.
Very strange, but it was fun. But everything about it just works. All the levels flow together, and I enjoy playing it every single time. And it was also the first game I ever got into attempted speedrunning for. I never was good at it, because I never really knew what to do.
Yeah.
So,
yep, same here. That was my first ever Sonic game, so it holds a special place in my heart, but it unfortunately does not make my top 5, because my number 2 spot is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I love the original Final Fantasy VII game, and played a couple other ones like that, like Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy IX, but something about the remake, just switching it up from the turn-based JRPG style of the original into where the direction that it was going with the remake is awesome, because it's more fast-paced, it keeps you like engaged into the series, and obviously Cloud is one of my favorite fictional characters to ever exist, up there with Sephiroth as well. And also Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion is a pretty good game. It's a lot more sluggish than the remake, but it tells an awesome story of Zack and the Soldier Program. And that one, I personally put that one much lower than the remake, but wanted to throw that one out there because that's another main reason I love the Final Fantasy VII story so much, because there's so many characters and overarching stories that all come together towards the end to make like this epic finale, an epic like coming of age story, and it's just an awesome game. Like, just genuinely, we don't get a lot of that anymore nowadays,
No, we don't.
which is sad, but it's just a good, solid game.
I haven't played it yet. I think I might be able to play it on my PlayStation, so I might be giving it a try soon.
Yeah. But I'd do the remake and then go into the newest installment that they did. I think it's Rebirth.
I think it's crazy that they did a trilogy of it.
Yeah.
They could have just done one massive game, which I feel like would have been cool.
That's what they did with the original Final Fantasy VII, but it was like super incredibly long. Like I barely even got through it. I'm still playing it, the original one today. It's crazy.
So number 1, this is a very personal pick for me because it's led a lot about my life. And it's Hollow Knight. And its subsequent sequel we will be talking about later in the episode because it finally got announced. Anyways, or not announced, confirmed. So Hollow Knight, it is, I would say for a first time playthrough, it is about as hard as the first playthrough of Bloodborne, which is the easiest Dark Souls game, from what most people have told me.
Barely.
I agree. And it is only if you do not try to cheese shit. If you cheese anything, it is so easy. But good God, if you play the way you are intended to, or if, especially when you get into the late game, like the Pantheons of Hollow Nest and the Godhome stuff, it is almost... I spent 40 hours of base game because I didn't know what I was doing. And the difficulty comes with finding where to go and keeping everything in order. But then once you get to Godhome, you spend another 40 hours just because everything's so fucking hard. Like, you get there, all of the bosses have extra health. It's basically just boss rushes from there until Pantheon 5, where you have to fight every single boss in order of what you would normally fight them in. And it is impossible. It feels impossible. And the farthest I have ever gotten legitimately is 4 bosses from the end. I have only ever beaten it by cheating. Because I cannot do it.
Oh, that's
I've gotten back and tried to. But it takes too much practice to get to absolute radiance and then just die instantly. So I'm taking... But it's also like the most recent game that I've gotten into speedrunning for. I never get any good times, but I'm really trying to use the no skips. Trying to beat the game how it was intended to, without fireball skips, without shade skips, just the way Team Cherry intended. That's pretty cool. I don't think that's a category on speedrun.com though, so I'm going to have to actually learn the skips, which disappoints me because I like beating games the way they were intended.
Yeah.
And I've already kind of built up a route. But I digress. What's your number 1?
I think it goes without saying, if you know me, you know my number 1.
I think I know what it is.
But for those of you who don't, it's Persona 5.
Yep,
Royal.
I knew it. I knew it!
It's such... The story is, like, perfect. Okay, I think it's perfect. You can argue that Persona 3 or Persona 4 also have really good stories. I would not be mad if you said Persona 3 had the best story in the game, because I played that game too. I loved it. But Persona 5 holds such a special place in my heart. It's been there for me when I needed it. And also, like, I just love... The characters, I think, are super iconic for the Persona series. And it's also, like, the main game people have, like, gotten into Persona with. And let me see here. Kamoshida, I think, is a perfect first boss for a Persona game, because like just his overarching story and how evil he is truly sets up the narrative for like what you will be facing going forward until you get to Yaldabaoth, the final fucking boss, which is a god. Like, I love that Persona games always do that. You're like, oh, here's just this little minuscule thing we're doing. We're fighting a fucking god at the end, by the way.
Sounds about right. Keep talking.
But yeah, Persona 5, just the characters are awesome. And the soundtrack is another, like, main thing that just makes it so perfect for me. Because you guys know, I make music. I'm a huge nerd when it comes to music, and just the sounds of the Persona 5 OST and everything that they did with it was great. Persona 3's OST is also up there. I'm still playing Persona 4, so I can't really like give a thorough, in-depth analysis of it. We got a microphone.
We got a mic.
We got a microphone, but
You're gonna notice there is no change to the audio
no change at all.
because
but we
it's not connected, and I don't have an adapter. If I had an adapter, the audio wouldn't suck ass.
Yeah.
But I decided to get Fuel, aka caffeine. These are chocolate-covered coffee beans, and they have caramel in them. So I have caffeine.
And then, yeah, back to what I was saying. Just like everything that the Persona 5 game did to just like, I don't know what, to like be different from the other installments. Yeah, innovate upon not just the Persona series, but also the JRPG series. It's amazing. I could go on for like, I'm good, thank you though, but I could go on for like hours and hours about how much this game means to me, because I have spent like over 100 hours on the game, which is very rare. I think that might be the only game I've ever done that for, aside from maybe Fortnite, which makes me want to
Smash. You definitely have over 100 in Smash.
I have like 500 hours in Smash Bros. But
I have over 1,000 in Fortnite.
I think I have like 2,000 in Fortnite. Almost 3,000. I hate myself. But anyways, yeah. Persona 5, my favorite game of all time. Also, on Takamaki, she kind of bad.
Herbert.
Dude, it's like a 2-year age gap, I think. And I got into it when I was 15.
I'm commenting on the fact that she's a video game character. Anyway, so on to the topic of today's actual topic, upcoming games. And what better way to start than GTA 6?
Oh.
Will it actually ever come out? We don't know. I might lose my virginity before GTA 6.
I mean, Playboy Cardi dropped before we got GTA 6.
Eminem basically said he was ending his career before GTA 6, but we don't know if he'll drop another album. Hopefully.
Kendrick and Drake beef happened before GTA 6. Like, how...
Well, it ended before GTA 6.
It started and ended before GTA 6. Like, how
Taylor Swift is going to drop another 2 albums before GTA 6. Like,
it's crazy. And you know what? You know what I've heard about the pricing of GTA 6?
It's going to be like $80, $90.
Base game is $100.
You're kidding.
No, that's what I've heard. Base game for GTA 6, $100.
I feel like now is as good a time, and this is going to be our little economy tangent, because this is very important to the gaming world. Games are going to start raising in price. They have only ever...
It's Nintendo's fault.
It is Nintendo's fault.
Because I think the price of Switch 2, which...
It's
awesome that it
$500.
announced. Yeah, but I think that's a fair price. The fact that you're making games $80 in this economy...
My entire life, games have been... brand new games have been $60.
Same.
$70 for pre-order, except for recent games, where if you pre-order it, you get a bunch of extra stuff. And sometimes, like, real-world stuff.
Mm-hmm. And that's a valid reason to make it more expensive. But if you're just gonna have like the base game and DLC that you have to buy on top of it cost more, why would you make it like above $60? Yes. I understand in this economy with like some games and like the value of the dollar decreasing every day, it's kind of valid that it would go from 60 to 70. In that case, I'm not too mad about it. I mean, like
it's now at 70 for new games, which.
Yeah.
I feel like that's still, especially for AAA companies that are releasing good games, 70 is worth it. Because you get, especially if it's a long game, like Elden Ring. I spent $70 for Elden Ring, and it's I haven't even gotten past like the first main area, or the second main area, because it's difficult. It is rewarding though. Games increasing to 80,
games increasing to 80 is dumb, and I 100% blame Nintendo for that.
One time, I think it is okay for games to increase in price if it's tiny indie companies. Hollow Knight, Silksong. I think the original Hollow Knight sold for $20, and it had 3 free DLCs. It had the God Home, it had the Hidden Dreams, and it had the Curse of the vampire guy. All free for $20 on top of the base game. Silksong's probably going to be 30 or 40 because it is a much bigger game, and they have to sell more for the people are going to buy it.
Yeah,
which
people
I
are
think
definitely going to buy Silksong.
But
and I think people are also going to buy GTA 6, which I think is probably one of the main reasons they're bumping up the price to $100 for the base game, and also to like make back some of the money they may have lost while developing GTA 6, which is fine. But when you start doing that Ubisoft thing where you have 3 different tiers for what you can buy, it's like the base game $70, base game a couple other things like $90, base game and everything else like $120. That's scummy.
yeah,
That's very scummy.
the one time I've ever done something like that, recently I bought Dead by Daylight. And by recently, I mean like 2 or 3 years ago. And I bought, the base game was like $20 because it was on sale. So I decided I was going to buy the middle tier where I got all of the base game characters up until that point without any of the crossovers like Ghostface, Pinhead, or all them. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then I did it recently with the Assassin's Creed bundle where you get like the first 6 games. Or not the first 6. You get from Black Flag to the one that's set in Egypt. I don't know which one that is.
I can't remember.
I think that's called Origins. No, Origin.
No,
I don't know.
Origins is not. I don't know. I haven't
But
touched Assassin's Creed
either
much.
way, and I got that for like $20.
Mhm.
It was 6 games for $20, which okay. But then there was like, let's go back to Scandals where there were multiple different versions. Batman Arkham Knight, huge scandal happened. They had the base game. They had the base game plus skins, which was only like $5 extra. And then they had Batmobile Edition, which was like an extra $80 on top.
Oof.
Because you got the base game, you got skins, a comic, and a Batmobile statue. And the statues sell for like $4,000 now because the company that was supposed to put them out went bankrupt. And they cut the project because they were not turning out good product. Their products sucked, actually. And
There.
so you couldn't do it anymore. And that's caused a huge scandal. They ended up giving refunds to people who had ordered it. But like, it caused a huge scandal because people were spending like $150 on this. And they didn't end up getting it.
Mhm.
But back to our GTA 6 conversation. I don't actually know much about it other than the fact that it takes place in Miami.
Vice City, baby.
Vice City.
Woo!
Sorry. Vice
Go
City.
back to Vice City.
I don't play GTA. The one time I played GTA, I accidentally blew up my friend's car with a rocket launcher.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
And then I went to the strip club. But I don't play GTA. But I can understand the hype for it, considering GTA 5 has been, one, memed to death. The videos I've seen where they replace Trevor with Joker from Arkham City, and he's walking down the street cussing people out, it's like, it's perfect. The story, from what I heard, was pretty fun. And then the gameplay is obviously just awesome. But it's GTA 6, so it's going to be huge.
It's gonna be.
But Rockstar is a bunch of scummy idiots.
Yeah.
Not to get video game political, but fuck you, Rockstar. I
Rockstar's
hope you
not
see
good.
this.
Make good games, not good people.
They do make good games, but
Really.
they're financial stuff. What are other upcoming video games you're excited for? We'll save Hollow Knight for a little
Save
later.
Hollow Knight for later. I really hope that Devil May Cry 6 comes out next year. Like,
Have they talked about it at all?
I think a little bit.
Okay.
But something that I actually am kind of hyped for, the Persona 4 remake.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
I'm still trying to beat Persona 4 Golden, like get that taken care of before I go into the remake, which I was gonna do with Persona 3 Portable, but then Reload came out and I was like, I like the gameplay. Actually, no, I don't like the gameplay of Persona 3 Portable, but I love the story. I want to play it a different way. And so, yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I agree.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, but it's the Suicide Squad versus Gotham Knights thing, which this isn't upcoming, but this is an ongoing feud between these companies. But finish your thought, and then we'll move on to a little bit of another scandal.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Persona 4 Reload. I need to finish Persona 4 Golden first, but like, genuinely, it seems a little bit. Well, seems like they're kind of like grabbing towards some money because of the success of Persona 3 Reload. But I don't blame them.
I don't have my wallet.
And
I'm just gonna throw money at you.
I don't blame them. Persona 4, Persona 4 is one of the best in the series, aside from Persona 5, obviously. But so like doing that, like remaking a really good game that fits like current gen. I keep wanting to call it new gen because I don't have a PS5. But
I do. I spent $500 on a PS5.
I'm broke out here, in case you couldn't.
He's in college, that's why he's broke. I'm broke because I'm buying expensive shit. And because I quit my job.
Valid.
Internet doesn't need to know that.
Yeah. But, just super hyped for the remake of Persona 4. That's all.
So, let's go into another scandal. This is going to be upcoming video games and video game scandals. Because why not? Scandals are fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Throwing my 2 cents. So, I did the thing where I decided to buy Gotham Knights. I bought it for like $20 a couple years after it launched. Not a couple, like a year after it launched. And I enjoyed it. I thought the story was kind of half-baked, but I played the entire game as Red Hood. I did not touch any of the other characters because I was like, Red Hood is cooler. Nightwing is a little bitch. Robin is a child who is good at stealth, and the stealth in the game sucked. And Barbara should have been in a wheelchair based on where she was placed in the timeline. They really did not understand the source material. And it felt like it was just a basic ass beat 'em up with a DC coat of paint over it. They used Gotham, they used DC characters. The one good part about it was the aspects of family in the game. And it really should have been a Red Hood game. If they had focused on it being a Red Hood game, they hadn't, and they had done a less basic story that any game could have done, I feel like it would have been a really good game.
Yeah.
Because Red Hood is awesome.
Red Hood is awesome. He's probably my...
But then Suicide Squad came. Are we allowed to say that word? Are we allowed to say that word?
It's Suicide Squad.
Sewer Slide
Or not.
Squad.
Super Slide. Sudoku Squad.
Sudoku Squad came out, which, hot take, not as bad as people say it is.
Whoa.
The story sucks.
Yeah.
The story is one of the worst stories I've ever played. Actually, it is the worst story I have ever played, other than Black Ops 3. They're both...
Right.
They're in my basement. It's so bad.
Jeez.
But I have not picked up... I deleted Gotham Knights to make space for fucking Hollow Knight.
Valid reason, though. Valid reason.
And I go back to play Shit Squad. I actually go back to play it just because it is a horde shooter.
Okay.
I want to go in, I want to massacre some aliens, and I don't care about the story.
Fair.
A good gameplay can make up for a shit story. A shit story cannot make up for bad gameplay, which is what Gotham Knights has. Gotham Knights' gameplay sucked. I didn't enjoy it unless I was playing Red Hood. Whereas Suicide Squad has really fun gameplay, but the story, my god. They did Kevin Conroy's Batman so dirty. Rest in peace.
Did.
I love Kevin Conroy. I only recently started going to Comic-Cons, which if this ever blows up and you see me at Comic-Con, you're a real one. I've started going to Kansas City Planet Comic-Con. But I want to go to like the one that's in Vegas. I want to go to the Vegas Comic-Con because there's like hundreds of thousands of people there and there's gaming people and it's cool. But unfortunately, he passed away a few months before the game release.
It was really sad.
And it was his last voice role. We don't know how he felt about the game, but they did him dirty. he should have been the one Justice League member to like not be controlled by Brainiac. I feel like it would have been a much better story if everyone else got mind controlled, but he was able to fight it off. At least maybe after his boss fight, he was able to fight off the infection and like rip that alien out of his head.
And like that would make sense for Batman.
But then we figured out in the end, after the DLC, that they were all clones, and we saved the Justice League. Like, what the fuck?
Like, it's so stupid.
But at least I got some cool characters out of it. Like Mrs. Freeze playing as Victoria or Victoire Freeze, who is still trying to save Nora.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought the individual character stories were pretty good, but the overall story sucked. And the gameplay was just incredible. But yeah.
That's fair. I think one of the main reasons I actually kind of want to check it out is the gameplay, because like a horde shooter like that seems really fun. Plus, you add in like DC characters. That just seems like a great time. But the thing that's like preventing me from doing that is the sucky story.
I will also say the game might be better multiplayer because it is meant to be played multiplayer. Haven't touched it multiplayer. I play it alone. And it's partially because I can't find anyone to play it with.
If I had it and had a PS5,
exactly.
Let's see.
I will also say an upside was that there was an attempt to make it a DC specific story.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than just having a generic story with DC paint over it.
Yeah.
It's like they actually use like DC things. But overall the story is so bad. I go back and I literally put the game on mute and I listen to music while I shoot things. Because I don't have the patience to listen to the gameplay stuff. So
that's kind of what I did with Just Cause 4. Like, I feel like the story was
Just Cause 4.
I kind of liked the story of Just Cause 4, but the main reason I keep going back is the gameplay and the open world aspect. But I think the voice acting could have been better, and that's kind of why I just bump music when I'm playing it.
Yeah. So, on to our next upcoming game. This one is less of a new upcoming game and more of upcoming parts of current games. Obviously, Marvel Rivals is starting to get huge. Like,
huger than Luna Snow's thighs. Cut that.
We're not cutting this either because that was great. Anyways, I'm gonna pick that up so my dogs don't eat that.
I got it.
But season 2 just came out a few days ago, and it's incredible. Emma Frost has jiggle physics. So
I mean,
and the gameplay is just really fun. It is very intricate, and there's counterplay. Any character is playable except Black Widow. Fuck you if you play Black Widow. The one time I played Black Widow is when I was going for that achievement. And because of that achievement, I have an hour on her.
A whole hour.
A whole hour. My main is Thor currently. Even though the poor guy got hit with a nerf this season. My main is currently Thor. I have 3 hours on him because I haven't really played a lot of the game. But yeah. Characters are coming out, and obviously it's like Fortnite where they're going to extend it by adding new seasons, new characters, and I feel like the upcoming characters are going to be pretty cool. Ultron, Blade. Ultron's supposed to be a support, which I think is going to be interesting, especially in the canon of the comics. It makes way more sense to have him as a support because he is known for being incredibly strong and being able to just send things. So I feel like he's going to be almost like Loki in a way, where he's able to summon robots, like healing robots or shield robots, and he might be able to heal or something. But yeah, and then Blade is going to be fucking awesome because, especially if they get, what's his name?
Mahershala Ali, or no?
The one who voiced or played him in like the first 3 Blade movies.
Oh, what's his name?
1, 2, and Trinity, and then Deadpool and Wolverine. I can't think of his name.
I can't think of his name.
Absolute
either, but he was
legend.
Really good. But I really want that Mahershala Ali Blade movie to come out. I know it's probably never going to happen with how many times they've pushed it back and just had to start over. But I'm really hoping that comes out.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Blade is just like an awesome Marvel character. And
It's also Marvel's like single attempt at a horror movie.
Yeah.
They tried with Multiverse of Madness. See how that turned out. It's a great movie. I love it, but it should have been more of a horror movie than it was. But and an upcoming. My friend and I argued about this for 30 minutes. Siege X, as they're calling it. It's not a remake.
It's an update.
It is It is a graphic. Oh fuck! The mail is here.
That scared me.
We're gonna look so dumb, but the Siege X. It is a graphical update. They're reworking a few characters, and I think they're releasing 2 new ones, and that's supposed to launch either late this year or early next year. Or no, it's supposed to release this summer, I think.
Oh, I don't like when games do that, where they like just make this really big update that like doesn't really change much about the game.
Overwatch 2.
Overwatch 2 started where they like don't really change much about the game. Maybe like tweak a couple things, upgrade the graphics, and then just call it like and then call it like Overwatch 2, Siege X, CS:GO 2. That was stupid. That was really stupid. I'm a CS:GO player, a little bit, not too much, but there's no reason for an update like that to be called CS:GO 2. Just keep it Counter-Strike Global Offensive, CS:GO. There's no reason to slap a 2 on it. And I blame Overwatch for that, because all Overwatch 2 did was go from 6v6 to 5v5, add a new character, add a battle pass, made the game free.
Actually,
which pissed me
it
off.
added 3 new characters. No, I'm kidding.
But
it was stupid.
It's so stupid. But they made the game free too. Like, I spent $60 on this game years ago, and now you're making it free. I still have the hard copy. I'm going to use it, but it just makes me so mad that
you know what it did for it now being free? It gave us in-game currency.
So it's basically back to Overwatch 1.
Yeah, they actually added loot boxes back. I don't know if they've actually made the battle pass currency work, but you're gonna wait. Add in a SpongeBob card here. I meant a literal SpongeBob time card, but now that you're doing this, I think we keep it. Because this looks stupid.
Is he gone?
This is why you're a virgin.
Yeah.
Anyways. Overwatch 2, like, the Battle Pass currency didn't even work. You were able to buy the Battle Pass, obviously, and you would receive the premium currency throughout the Battle Pass. It didn't work for the first 4 seasons. So I bought the Battle Pass for the first 2 seasons, thinking, oh, these 2 seasons of Battle Pass will allow me to get the 3rd one. Turns out, being able to claim the premium currency doesn't work in the Battle Pass. So that's stupid.
Yeah.
I have deleted it off of every single one of my devices. I have not touched it. Which is sad, because I used to really like Overwatch.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Overwatch was one of my favorite games for a while, because I really liked the characters and like what they were trying to do with the game. Not just Tracer, but...
Let me... Wait. I have something to show y'all.
Alright, while he goes and does that... Yeah, I really liked the original Overwatch until they made... That's a crazy statement. The original Overwatch was good. It like really revitalized that that character-based.
Whoa! I have the Overwatch cookbook. That's how into this game I was, and I have actually cooked stuff out of it. Turns out sticky toffee pudding is bomb.
Interesting.
But, I'm gonna bring this up a little. Keep talking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like the character-driven FPS games really revitalized what those are, and kind of like set the groundwork for a lot of games that came after that. Like Marvel Rivals takes a lot of inspiration from it. I say CS:GO does a little bit.
Shooters.
Hero shooters, just in general, like really set the groundwork for that.
Now this is in a little bit of rough shape, because I've had it for a few years now. Actually, I've had it for... When did Overwatch 2 come out? Like 2021?
Overwatch 2, like 2021, I think, yeah, 22.
So I've had this for like 8 years. And I have made probably 10 things out of it. One of which was a huge fail because my mom didn't want to deep fry things, which pissed me off. Anyways. The most recent thing I made out of this was Brazilian limeade, which is a bomb drink. Definitely make it if you have not. But this it really brought the heroes, like he was talking about, that it's hero-based. The stories of the heroes really matter. It brought it to our kitchens and them into our hearts. Like, for example, I'm going to pull up the most iconic drink.
That burger looks so good.
It is. I've made it. It's like a bit as big as my head. It is huge.
I die.
No joke, when I made this, it was as big as my head.
Wow.
This was like 7 years ago. I haven't gotten to make it since, and I'm sad. But this just really made me understand the characters, and the fact that bro has boba. I could make boba if I wanted to. I love boba. And then just so many things that really just made me feel like these characters were real.
I know.
These comfort foods, like the fact that they have celebratory foods, they have alcohol. Can't partake in that legally. Kidding. And then they have just normal food. And it just brought the characters into our hearts, into our lives. And then they went to release Overwatch 2 and they're like, awesome, it's gonna bring in a story mode.
Never happened.
It got scrapped. They were like, we don't have the technology. Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do.
You have the technology. Games have done it before.
You can do it.
Or better yet, just incorporate cutscenes into the game.
Or even better, just go back to 6v6, get rid of the 2. People will probably come back. I highly doubt it at this point. But
and bring in the LTMs back. Bring the fact that they had the Black Watch one, which was incredible. Bring back all of those. The anniversary event, the event where you have to play as Tracer, Reinhardt, Torb, and all them, and they're trying to fight against the Omnics or whatever they're called. Bring those back. The Omnitrix. I don't know, but yeah. So on to the big one of this episode, Silksong.
Silksong. I have been meaning to play Hollow Knight. I've seen this guy play Hollow Knight for so long. I have been meaning to get into it. I really want to play it before I play Silksong. Actually,
I think it's
Silksong's
$10.
so fun.
I think it's $10.
I gotta get $10. Because we broke out here as college students. We broke.
I'm not in college. I'm just broke because I make bad financial decisions.
Me too. But yeah, I really need to play Hollow Knight, and then I want to play Silksong because what I've seen, it looks so good.
It does. So, it obviously has gone through what I'm going to call production hell.
Mm-hmm.
It was announced in 2018 after Hollow Knight had finished, and it was meant to be DLC for the original Hollow Knight, but this would have been paid DLC. But Hollow Knight can't handle that. The original Hollow Knight, it just couldn't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, we're going to make this a full game. We're going to make it bigger. We're going to make it better. We're going to make you play as Hornet because the knight dies in every single ending. That was depressing. But even then, it was pretty cool. I've gotten every single Hollow Knight ending. So, anyways,
This guy's good.
I cheated to get one of them. I went and I've done some research on it. There has not been a definite release date yet, but it is assumed to be releasing this summer or fall.
I would imagine since they announced it at a Nintendo Direct, which was a crazy place to announce.
Yeah, why would you
Silksong
at a Nintendo Direct? It's not Nintendo only.
No, but that's a crazy place to advertise Silksong. But based off what I saw off there, seems like it's getting into the later stages of development, so hopefully it comes soon.
Oh, it's basically done. I think they're polishing it right now, actually. Team Cherry, of course, if you didn't know, is 3 people. It is a coder, I think. It is a designer, and it is an artist. I think.
Wow.
Maybe a few extra people now that they're a bigger name. But they basically have Hollow Knight and Hollow Knight Silksong. Those are the 2 games they have that I at least know of. So of course it's going to go through 6 years of hell, or 7 years now. But now that it is announced, I'm counting down the hours. And I'm going to be pre-ordering it. I'm going to be buying... I have Hollow Knight artwork sitting in my bedroom right
The
now.
artwork is really cool that I've seen.
The lady who drew it, she did it digitally drawing it. But she showed me how she did it and all that, and it was really cool. Didn't spend much on it either. And that is how in I am, just waiting for this game to come out. So I assume that would mean that this is going to be a monumental event. I'm hoping it breaks records.
I'm hoping so too.
Because
For all my Hollow Knight fans.
there are people who I've seen who are like, I want to play it, but I don't know if I'm going to like it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I feel like that's a thing though with waiting so long for something like this. Obviously, you can't help how long it takes to make a game like frickin' Silksong or GTA 6, but something that I kind of just thought about now is like you wait for something to be like that's so hyped up, like so cool, and then you get to enjoy it and it's not as good as you thought. It doesn't meet your expectations. Some examples I could think of immediately: Music by Cardi, hyped up for so long, sucked. There were
I listened to 3 songs and quit. That's how bad it was.
Captain America 4 as well. Like
I loved it.
I liked
actually.
it, but it wasn't as good as the original trilogy of Captain America.
I thought it was
movies.
better than the first one.
Well, I think
Nothing is better than the Winter Soldier.
Nothing's better than Winter Soldier
Clear
and Civil War, but
we're gonna have a
have
cameo
a dog appearance.
Okay.
But
by
yeah,
my dog.
Music by Cardi, Captain America 4, Minecraft movie was hyped up for the longest time, and from what I've
I liked
heard,
it.
yeah,
It sucked, but
it's
I
like
liked it.
yeah, it's not good, but like it's a fun bad movie, as Moist Critical would say, like a fun bad. Let me see what else. Those are just kind of some main ones that came to mind. But like, you wait so long for something that is hyped up to be this really, really awesome thing, and then it sucks.
This epic,
so
almost. I mean,
And I'm really hoping Silksong doesn't do that.
if Silksong does something like that, I will be so pissed off because the first game is a masterpiece in game design, and this dog. Silksong is one of those games where, as soon as I heard about it, I was like, I'm buying it. And I originally quit playing Hollow Knight. I won't lie. The first time I went to play through it, I quit. And it was because I had no idea what I was doing. I picked up a month and a half later, deleted the save, restarted. And as soon as I got past like the first few areas, I was like, okay, I'm in. Let's go. My current save has 90 hours on it. But that's just from me, like, and most of that is just trying to beat bosses. And I just think it's going to be amazing. And as soon as it comes out, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to play it. And it's going to be the same thing as when Taylor Swift releases Reputation Taylor's version. I am going to lock myself in my room, and if my mom bugs me, I will scream. Because I am going to go hermit mode when that stuff comes out. Because I am so just... I'm gonna turn into Mr. Krabs. I'm a little too... It's hard to believe, but I'm too low-pitched to do SpongeBob laugh. But, this... yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think both of us were really excited for Silksong, even though I have not touched Hollow Knight. Still, I'm going to get it at some point. I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to play Silksong. And then we'll let you guys know our thoughts on Silksong after he plays it or I play it. One of those two. Probably be an upcoming future episode. But I think we're probably going to have to call it here. I need to go help my mother with some stuff, and I got to pack. I got to head back up to school for another 3 weeks.
This is a shorter episode because our last one was 2 hours long, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We had a
lot to talk about, but I think our next episode...
What should we do?
Sleep Theory's releasing an album on the 16th. That could be our next episode.
That we could
Or we
do.
could do something else.
We could do a movie watch along. I've seen podcasts do stuff like that, where it'd be, what we do is we start a movie and we tell people what movie and they can like watch it along with us, and then at the end we talk about it. Or we can watch like a series of movies.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We will let you know what we decide.
We'll
whenever
post.
The time
We'll
comes.
make a
We'll
post.
Post We'll post.
We'll make a community post.
But
this will be out within the week.
this will be out
Because this won't take much
This will
editing,
not take much
if any.
editing at all. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys very much for watching this episode. And per usual, 3, 2, 1. Thank
Son
you
of a
guys.
bitch!
Thank you guys.